Hi guys, the Unionist newsletter, which some have compared to being a mouthpiece for the DUP, gave the Tory candidates for leader a bit of a grilling over their absence from a Northern Ireland reception. Now, Tom Tugendhat was the only one that did attend, but it was 2 hours after the event had started, and there was only a handful of people in the room at the time. Each of the other candidates were interviewed here by the newsletter, and their excuses were pretty weak. Now, at what stage will pro-union outlets like the newsletter wake up and smell the coffee that neither Westminster nor the Tories give a flying flip about Northern Ireland? Have a listen.
Cleverly, you said you're a unionist to your bootstraps just now, but there was a Northern Ireland reception last night, and only one of the four candidates even showed up, and you weren't one of them. It would only taken 5 minutes of your time. I'm just wondering how you react to how that looked for your commitment to the UK.
So I went to Northern Ireland on a number of occasions when I was Foreign Secretary. I spoke with all the parties represented in Northern Ireland. My passion for Northern Ireland as part of the UK is as passionate as my belief that Braintree is part of the UK. At party conference, there are always more events than hours in the day. I wasn't able to make that. I wanted to, but I wasn't able to. In the same way that there were other receptions, including the Northern reception, the East of England reception, which was my own area, that I wasn't able to get. Next conference, as leader, I will try and make sure I get to as many as possible. But please know that my commitment to Northern Ireland is absolutely unshaken.
You mentioned at the end of the speech the identities and the British identities, including Northern Ireland. Last night there was a reception by the Northern Ireland Conservatives, and only one of the four candidates turned up, which was a big disappointment to them, and you weren't one of the four. I'm wondering how you reconcile that with what you're saying.
Let me say, I'm the only candidate in this race who's been to Northern Ireland. It was in fact one of the first things I did. I met Northern Irish Conservatives in Belfast, I met the business community, so I feel very strongly that I have to represent all four nations of the United Kingdom in this role, and that's exactly what I've done in the leadership race.
Do you have enough spark?
Well,
Kemi, you didn't go to the Northern Ireland reception last night.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. But thank you so much.
You don't trip over something. I'll just ask you anyway that
of course.
She didn't go to the Northern Ireland reception last night. Only one of the four candidates did, and for somebody who proclaims an interest in the UK, that was a bit of an omission perhaps. Didn't take long to pop in.
I don't know anything about that, but I can tell you she's as passionate about the importance of keeping Northern Ireland in the Union and listening to Northern Irish voices as any of the people on that podium today, if not more so.
You're being extremely down about all the January.
It's pathetic, isn't it? You know, unionists in Northern Ireland begging the Tories to come to an event, and they couldn't be bothered to turn up, even for 5 minutes. Now, Tom Tugendhat did turn up, as I mentioned, but there was hardly anyone in the room at the time. But, you know, Tom Tugendhat doesn't have a chance of winning this. The main people who are going to lead the Conservatives in opposition didn't have the time for Northern Ireland. They couldn't give a flying F about Northern Ireland. And I keep coming back to this point. The Conservatives and Labour don't have MPs in Northern Ireland. So there's no incentive for them to do anything for Northern Ireland. I mentioned it when it came to Labour in Scotland. There's a big problem for Labour MPs in Scotland. But think about Northern Ireland. Like the Tory leaders were at the convention, at the conference, there was lots of opportunities to meet with people from North. Like they claim to be unionists. It's not like it's some county that was asking them to turn up. This is Northern Ireland. This is part of the United Kingdom, allegedly. So why did they not turn up? Because there's no incentive for them. They don't have any MPs in Northern Ireland. So they look at Northern Ireland as a waste of time, a distraction. You know, something they would prefer to forget. These people are not unionists. They're Brexiteers. And I keep saying, when it came to Brexit or it came to the Union, Brexiteers chose Brexit on every occasion. Even Tory MPs were saying, well, you know, why should we care about Northern Ireland? I need to focus on England. But the desperation here from unionists, please come to our convention, please pretend that you care about the Union. It's pathetic to watch. And it really does beg the question, why are these people still unionists? The Tories don't care about you. Labour don't care about you. Westminster don't care about you. London doesn't care about you. So why are you still holding on to this idea that the union is strong and that it will last forever? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.